We do.
What up? Okay, that's much better, Drew. All right, let's see what we got here, man. Peace, y'all. What's going on? Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another broadcast. I am your host, Minister Jew, along with my brother, none other than Mr. Noble and Pooh Galileo in the flesh. What's going on, man?
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, everybody? What's happening?
What's going on? Let me see something though, man, because let me see. Wait a minute. I just be liking to see, man. Okay, I think we live, man.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me do this.
Oh, they said they can't hear you. They can't hear you.
They
Hey,
can't
can
hear
you get a mic check? Let me know if y'all can hear both of us.
Can y'all hear me out there? Somebody in the chat, give me some feedback. Can y'all hear me out there?
Auspicious goddess. Yep. Fifth house. Yep.
Okay, so I'm not sure why the other person, Angel Stevens, you might want to go in there and kind of refresh your joint.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what y'all want to do. But yeah, man. So shout out to everybody coming in. Well, we got Valerie in the house. Spread the love. Phyllis, what's happening? Queen Hadassah G, LaJuanda Walker, Tanisha, AJ's in the building. Who else we got in the house? Noble. Ooh, Nana, none other than the fifth house. What up, Gwen?
Shout out to the fifth house.
Internet savior been in this joint patiently waiting.
Internet savior, like it's on.
They was in this joint early.
I'm a Badu. What's
Just
up?
Blaze.
Where you see Just Blaze at? He in there? Oh, what
They
up,
go
Just? What up, Seafood?
You know, I'm about to do a little C. DD, see ya. We see you, DD, see ya. What's going on? Valerie. All right, man. So listen, everybody. Tonight we got a special broadcast. Look, I talked to my brother a little earlier. He's got a hell of a presentation for y'all tonight. So y'all gonna have to like lock in, get ready, get focused, and really absorb what the message is tonight. We want to get in front of this eclipse energy that's coming up here in a little under 30 days. So we want to get in front of it and kind of give you our perspective on what it is, why it is, and how we can use it in a constructive, beneficial way.
Yeah.
While being responsible at the same time. Hold on, let me plug this charger. I don't want this joint to go out on me while you're talking, man. Hold them up. Yeah, I'll be patient with your boy. Give me a second. And I think we good now, Drew. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so yeah. So listen, I'm here for the ride, y'all. Minister Jew, I'm this is all new too. I'm here for the ride. I know I'm going to enjoy it. I know you guys are going to enjoy it. And man, I'm just gonna get out the way, Noble. What you got for the people, man?
I don't believe this cat, man. Y'all click the thumbs up button. Shout out to everybody. Let me see here. Let me load this up real fast. Boop. Let me put it here though for a quick second. Hold on, y'all. Let me just see something real fast. That's like that. That's like that. That's like that. There you go. All right. So initially this was going to be a members only presentation, but the general public, if you're not in Minister Jew's membership, you're not in my Patreon, it's all good because we're not necessarily going to discuss the thing to do as a collective per se, because there's times we get together over the years where we purposely are doing something, with the energy. We're just going to show you some little bit of historical evidence of some things. But inside of our memberships is where we give the collective, because as Minister Jew mentioned earlier, being responsible is absolutely the key to this thing. Because there was a period of time when I tell you, boy, we was like, Minister Jew said all the time, we was like them two little mischiefs of the Thundercats. You know what I mean? Doing some things, really testing these laws and making some things happen. Seriously, really making some things happen. And then under the advice of my brother, he said, put it up, put it in the boat somewhere, put it in the ground in the time capsule, and let humanity catch up with it, because the things that we're doing is just really, really highly advanced. Okay, it really is. All right. But nevertheless, when you look at the flyer, okay, Spiritual Warfare 2.0, Nat Turner, Abe Lincoln, the Bible and the flag, you got the Moors, you got Civil War, you got a lot of stuff that's going on here. And my job today is to take you through a time loop and show you how the eclipses are absolutely connected to all the hashtags that you see in the entire presentation that you will see. I'll say this right now. The Bible and the flag, leave it alone. I'm not saying leave it alone, don't mess with it. I'm saying if you think it's something wrong with these books and you want to shoot at them, come see Minister Jew on the Bible tonight. As I know y'all know, with him in the Bible, tonight y'all gonna get this flag work. I'm telling you, you're gonna get this flag work, because the Bible and the flag is actually that's gonna be a production with me and my brother having some great conversation. And this is gonna be a thorough production. I ain't gonna give too much up about it, but be on the lookout for the Bible and the flag, because Jew is a Bible thumper and I'm a certified flag thumper. All right. So leave these two things alone. These two things is good for the Negro. Let me be clear. Oh, I know Umar Johnson had my head for it. I repeat, these two things are good for the Negro. Okay? All right. So a little bit of Bible sauce. In Luke 21, 25 to 31, then there will be strange events in the skies, warnings, evil omens, and portents in the sun, moon, and stars. And down here on earth, the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides. Okay, so you saying there's omens in the sky dealing with the sun and the moon. Then the Bible comes back and say, I will work miracles in the sky and give signs on the earth, blood, fire, and clouds of smoke. So you saying there's miracles in the sky? Let's take it to the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran says, it is he who maketh the stars for you, that ye may guide yourselves. With their help through the dark spaces of land and sea, we detail our signs for people who know. Now you may say, well, yeah, because back in the day when they was on ships, man, they didn't have no technology. Okay, what about this one? He has made subject to you night and day. The sun and the moon and stars are in subjection by his command. Verily, in this are signs for men who are wise.
Uh-oh.
Oh, really? See, I ain't even go get the whole wise men in the Bible really translates to, the wise men dealt with stars, okay? I'm just going to leave it at that, all right?
You might well tell them.
Well, okay. Well, when you go look at, that's right.
Magi, which literally translates to mean Oriental astrologers.
Say it again.
Magi is the translation for the three wise men. The word that they use in the concordance is magi, which literally translates to mean Oriental astrologers.
That's right. Or Eastern astrologers. Okay. Facts. All right. So the first eclipse, ladies and gentlemen, and we're on the record 7 years ago. We've been patiently waiting for this for 7 years. You can go back to Brother Rich Show and catch me and Jew on there talking about this eclipse right here. But I was telling y'all 7 years ago that you need to be up in 2024. That's where the game is at. Okay. So the solar eclipse of 2017, August 21st, was the first American eclipse. Okay. So that's the one. That's the starter. But here's the kicker. Here's the second. Here's this component right here. Its partner is April the 8th that we coming up on. Okay. Now, when you look at this from a geographical standpoint, this is all you're looking at. Because the truth be told, when you understand history, up under the X where the two eclipses cross paths, that literally became the Confederacy. And I'm going to show you that. Literally. That's their territory right up under that X. Okay? Mm-hmm. But also what I'm telling you is General Lee surrendered April 9th, 1865. But the eclipse is on April the 8th. It's the same energy. Again, I said this 7 years ago. Okay? And we're going to loop it into the now as we progress. All right? So this is their geographical territory. That's a fact. And they also surrendered on this date in history. That's a fact. And I want you to bookmark the year 1865 because that's going to come back up. Okay? All right. Now, you also have to understand, because these things are called the American eclipses. So therefore, you must have a thorough understanding of America. Do not fall for the hype when, I'm going to watch my tongue tonight. Do not fall for the hype when brothers try to get y'all in y'all emotions and say America, as if America is the KKK. That's the trick. Okay? So the history of America is you have to understand the British flag or the British Empire. And when you look at their flag, you see the X. It just got a cross in the middle of it. But history shows that America defeated both of these people. And both times that they defeated the American Revolutionary War, the British, and then the American Civil War, they absolutely 100% had your black behind in mind. And I'm going to prove it. Now, this is my rendition, sort of like a family tree. And on the top left, you got the Moors of Spain, okay? 711. And they had to fight against the Catholic or Christian crown, Ferdinand and Isabella. And then up under them, you will see, okay, the English started to, they empower. Then the 13 colonies, which was originally called the British American colonies. Eventually, the British American colonies got beef with King George, and they now about to go through a Revolutionary War. And then they got rid of the British part of the flag and made a Declaration of Independence in 1776 while they was in the middle of a war, because that war, American Revolutionary War, started in 1775. And then they later became the United States of America. The United States of America had to smoke the Confederate states. And so the founding fathers of 1776 and prior, and the American side, Abraham Lincoln, is the side that actually got us free. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Okay? See, let me look at you when I tell you this. Here's the problem. We have an extreme negativity bias. Now, and the culture of Black America is just one-sided. This is what I mean, right? I think Minister Jew is the best man that I know, morally, right? I don't think he's ever done a crime besides speeding. Maybe, right? Now, Now, watch this, right? Jew. Without saying Abraham Lincoln and John Brown or anybody I told you from the American Civil War, can you name 3 white men in the form of the United States government that was against slavery? And they did something to show that they was against slavery.
That you name?
Yeah, but you know, without the ones that I told you before.
Oh, like just outside of the people that were involved in the Civil War at that time?
Right.
No, outside of the ones that you mentioned to me before, like Grant.
Right. Outside of
that, no.
I never told you. Right?
No.
So if we just went outside with a camcorder and asked black folks, name 3 white folks who was in government at the time of the American Revolutionary War, that was, or we say the founding father age, that was absolutely against slavery, and they did something about it, we'd be stuck. We wouldn't even know. And that's a serious problem to me. It's a serious problem, especially from the man's side of point of view, because as men, we start to take on this thing, this persona that we're being oppressed, suppressed, and all of this type of stuff, and we've been reduced down in our manhood. And that's a problem, okay? So let me bring this back real fast. Historically speaking, you have to really understand that this country was torn in half. Again, we're talking about the American eclipse, so you got to bear with me. This country was torn in half, a north and a south, okay? Now watch this. Watch this. When y'all start seeing stuff like this, oh, the white boy, oh, the white man, the Illuminati, y'all start, oh, they got, oh, y'all start getting on, giving all the power to the white man when y'all see this, right? In a negative way. Y'all do this. Nobody bigs up European Freemasonry. But do you know the European Freemasonry aspect of the Scottish Rite said this? Look at their map, Jew. Why is the northern jurisdiction of white Freemasonry, so y'all want some degrees? Here goes some degrees. Why is the white boys masonry on the Scottish Rite side, his northern jurisdiction, the exact same states the slaves ran to get free? Why?
It's a great question.
Okay, now watch this. Historically speaking, this territory, see, this is where me and my brother from. We from this territory. This is the real New World Order known as the Northwest Ordinance. This was passed in 1787. What do the open sentence say in Article 6? There should be neither what?
Slavery.
Nor
involuntary servitude in the same territory.
You will not have slaves in this territory. This is before the Constitution of the United States of America. Facts.
That's
the Constitution. You see, this is before the Constitution. Now, the European Mason said, listen, our northern Masonic jurisdiction is going to take effect in 1815. I want you to remember that year, 1815. Okay? Now watch this. Before they broke into a north and southern jurisdiction, mind you, the Civil War has not started, but it's always been a cultural divide between the North and the South. They started their Scottish Rite Freemasonry in Charleston, South Carolina. That is the mother lodge for white Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Charleston, South Carolina. Bookmark that. Now, let's read above. A Metonic cycle is a 19-year cycle where the lunar phases recur at the same time of the year. In other words, today is March 10th, 2024. If it's a full moon today, it will take 19 years for March 10th to come and it'll be a full moon again. This is known as a Metonic cycle. Salute to and rest in peace to Mother Tynetta, who wrote the article Unveiling the Number 19. Salute to the God 19 Keys, who's embodying a certain frequency, a function. Okay. Now, I'm not saying his teaching, I'm just telling you why people rise and why this invisible intelligence choose to operate, because certain people will take on certain functions of laws once they embody them. Okay. Now, when you go to the Holy Quran, they tell you there's a thing called the Quran Code, also known as Code 19. Why? Because when you go to chapter 74, it says from verse 26, I will cast him into hellfire. And what will make you know exactly what hellfire is? It spares not, nor does it leave anything. Burning the skins. Over it are 19. Okay? Over it are 19. All right?
No, but wait.
Mm-hmm.
Over it are 19 angels and guards. Now, what did I say last week? What I say them angels represent?
Mm-hmm.
That's the military.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Y'all good on sound? Prophet Prolific said no sound. Y'all good on sound in there?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What? Somebody give us some feedback in the chat. Can y'all hear everything? Can y'all hear us?
Okay,
He said disregard. He said
okay,
disregard.
cool. All right. So now watch this. 2024, because we're talking about the American eclipse in 2024 next month. 2024 minus 1815, which is the year that the Masons split their jurisdiction, is exactly 209 years. 209 years divided by 19, which is the Masonic cycle, equals exactly 11 cycles. So what I'm saying to you is, when the Mason split his jurisdiction to mirror the North, where the slaves will run to and get free, that is actually a year that is in the same accordance with tomorrow's, which will be April's, tomorrow's eclipse, the American eclipse, which is the same day that the South will surrender. You want to talk about secrets? Look at the black man's hand. I repeat, look at the black man's hand. George Washington was a Mason. Why's the brother giving you the cryptic signal? But no, the brothers want to get on YouTube and they want to talk about white supremacy. We suppress. The signs in the heavens have been on our side and we've been liberated.
And the women are scoping the map.
Oh yeah. And I ain't even show the picture of George Washington with Benjamin Banneker and Banneker giving him the map. So let's move on. The Moors conquered and ruled Spain for almost 800 years. From 7-Eleven, shoot them dice, go to the corner store, get your blunt, 7-Eleven. Beyonce, 7-Eleven to 1492, right? Now, I'm going to tell you something about this era. Great era in astronomy, great era for civilization, but to balance the scales, them boys did put them white people under subjugation, slavery. Oh, they did. They did. And I'll go on the record and say, I believe that this was the karmic kicker for the slaves in the future. Yeah, so you don't want to talk about that. But I'll show you.
That's right.
I'll show you. I'm going to show you. Now watch this. Now see, it's a fact in 1492, I think it was January the 2nd, the Moors had to surrender to the Catholic monarchs, Isabella and Ferdinand. So the Christian is on the right with the white horse, the black's on the left with the black horse. Okay, so you had to surrender that. Okay, now to this day, the Catholic Church has it's sort of like a Catholic Masonic body. They have something called the Order of Alhambra. And what did it tell you? The order derives its name for Alhambra, the Moorish palace in Granada, Spain, the last Moorish stronghold in Spain, conquered by the forces of Ferdinand II of Aragon and Isabella I of Castile in 1492. And this is the same year Christopher Columbus set sail. Right? See, all this is connected. And so to this day, they like, yeah, the castle with the cross on it over the crescent moon. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you don't know is in 1492, they issued something called the Alhambra Decree. And it says the Alhambra Decree was issued on the 31st of March, 1492 by the Catholic monarchs ordering the expulsion of the Jews. So the Jews and the blacks, the Moors, got kicked out. One surrendered in 1492 in January, and 2 months later, an order came, y'all practicing Judaism, get out. So you want to know about another secret relationship between black and Jews? We kinfolk in certain experiences, and they never talk about how some of the Jews was financing the Union to get the slaves free. But I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. And that's a fact. Okay? I'm going to say that. So the Jews went. Now, here's a book that outlines Christian slaves and Muslim masters. The white boys were slaves from 1500 to 1800. Nobody talks about that. The article on the right is from Ohio State University.
Yes.
When Europeans were slaves, research suggests white slavery was much more common than previous belief.
Man, wow. Remember, I came across this when we were doing the movie about the African queen, where she was I forget the lady who played
African
that role.
King, Viola Davis.
Yeah, Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Where that information came up while I was going down that rabbit hole. That exact same slide that you just showed.
Mm-hmm.
They was going in there handcuffing Christians.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Yeah, mollywopping them Christians. Okay. So you can see here this picture. White folks were being auctioned off. You see the white girl with her boobs. There, you like it was being auctioned off. So let's not act like, from the history standpoint, the ancestor point, like you didn't put work in against white folks. You did. Okay. So now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. 2024 minus 1492 is exactly 532 years. 532 years divided by 19 is exactly 28. So that means the eclipse of 2024 is exactly in the same alignment with 1492.
Space is intelligent.
We've been telling you this for years. Space is intelligent. Okay? So now, this right here is something, when you get into the astroscience, it's something called the North Node and the South Node, also known as the Dragon's Head and the Dragon's Tail. And what it is a hypothetical point of an intersection where the moon goes around the Earth and the Earth goes around the sun. When the moon intersects the path where the Earth goes around the sun, one of them is called the North Node, the other one is called the South Node. But note, these are not planetary bodies. These are intersectional points in space. And they're very real if you know how to read once you get into the astroscience. Okay? Now, so these are points in space. Okay? And now I'm setting the premise up. Now, don't laugh at my son. That's not my handwriting. That's my son's. I was sitting here telling him to write down the dates when I was doing this research. Okay? So at the very top, it says 2024. And at the very bottom in that right column, it says 1492. Because from 1492 to 2024, we just saw that's 28 19-year cycles. Okay? Yes. All right? All right. So again, we talking about the American eclipse. And see, I'm working on a project called Before Lincoln, The Secret Plan to End Slavery, Breaking the Curse, History Black American and all Americans need to know. All right. And then you got Harriet Tubman, which for some reason don't nobody ever want to say Harriet Tubman was a Union soldier. They leave that part out, y'all. Harriet Tubman was a Union soldier. Okay. That's a fact. She fought in the war for the North. Okay. Now, let's watch this. Oh, let me back up some. So when you look at the eclipses of 1492 at the bottom, these are 19-year cycles. But what's going to happen at 1587 where there's an asterisk mark? Notice there's a green arrow that comes out and it goes to 1595. Okay? Now, 1587 to 1595, that's an 8-year interval. And what happened was the eclipse on April the 8th didn't come on a 19-year cycle. It came 8 years later in 1595. So now what happens is the 1595 row is a series of eclipses. And every time there's a star, there's an actual eclipse. And where it's just a blank line, that's just the year or the point in space where it would happen at. Although it doesn't happen, it don't matter because that's an intersectional point of space where it does occur. I hope you got that. Okay.
Oh, so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go, keep going over.
Mm-hmm. So at 1595, what's going to happen is 1595 to 1614 is 19 years. Then 1614 to 33, that's 19 years. 1633 to 1652 is 19 years. And then 8 years later, another outlier happens where on April the 8th, an eclipse came in 1660. So all the way to the far left, you see 1660 in green. So in green, the green eclipses are the outliers that occur like 8 years later. Okay. So that 1660 eclipse, guess what it produces? It produces a timeline of 1774 where the red arrow is. Now, let's start right there in 1774. See, you, man, listen, I don't know how many years this is. This is easy about 400 years worth of eclipse data. Okay? And you got to be able to, you got to love this shit. I just got to say it. Okay? So listen, when you see 1774, this is what I know. In 1774, there's something called the Articles of Association. What do the highlighted clause say in point number 2? These are 14 grievances where they're telling King George to kick rocks. What do they say in point number 2?
It says, we will neither import nor purchase any slave imported after the first day of December next, after which time we will wholly discontinue the slave trade and will neither be concerned in it ourselves, nor will we hire our vessels, nor sell our commodities or manufacturers to those who are concerned in it.
In street terms, they said, we ain't effing with you if you messing with slaves.
Say it again.
That's what they said. They said, mother effer, we ain't effing with you if you got slaves. That's what they said in street terms.
That's right.
Okay? So we would neither purchase or import any slave come next December. It's already October 20th.
And you can't get no work from us.
And you can't get no work from us. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Revolutionary War starts in 1775. That hasn't even started yet.
Nope.
Salute to Abraham Lincoln for mentioning this in his first inauguration, who put me up on game. All right? So that one must be the truth, because when we go research it, the document is there. Okay? All right. Now, let's look who signed the document. Who signed off on the document, Jew?
Well, we got from Massachusetts Bay somebody called John Adams. We got somebody from New York by the name of John Jay. And we got another from Virginia by the name of George Washington.
Not Georgie Porgy.
Georgie Porgy.
No, the first, it's 1774. George Washington don't become president until 1788. So this is like 12 years. He become president 12 years in the future.
That's right.
So your would-be first future president signs off on this document. And John Jay, which is my man, and John Adams becomes your second president. Am I lying?
No, you're not.
Ladies and gentlemen, only thing you got to do is research Abigail Adams. John Adams' wife was a staunch abolitionist. Okay? This is a fact.
And hold on, Noble. Can I just interject right here?
Yeah, all day.
Because this is another point that got to be made. So it was a social media post, maybe a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't mention the name of the person speaking, but they were saying how Spelman University, Howard University, why are these names named after white people, white women, white men? See, I told you it's a conspiracy. They're duping us. These institutions are really slave camps. And I said, wow. Because see, I remember reading this before.
Right.
Listen, people, this is why you have to really research what people are saying and don't just take it at face value because the person got charisma.
Right. Right.
But when you actually go and you study this whole Spelman idea, right? The college Spelman, all the wonderful ladies go, it's actually the two women who had the idea to create a institution of learning for Black people, right? They went to Spelman, which was Rockefeller's wife, right? She gave her the idea. She transported the information over to her husband, which was Rockefeller, that everybody, oh, Rockefeller, they're evil. Okay, yeah, okay. He saw the idea, he saw the vision and thought it was great. And so he funded the idea.
Facts.
So this evil guy, Rockefeller, right? Who, by the way, his wife was a gun-ho abolitionist. Spelman? They were abolitionists. Had to be something, right? For these people to come to them and say, we want these Black people to get education.
Right.
So they couldn't be Confederates at heart to even take that type of message to them.
Right. Right.
So listen, man. Listen.
Right.
No.
Right. When I saw Teddy Roosevelt, who is your president that made it on Mount Rushmore, Teddy Roosevelt was known as the trust buster. He wanted to break up the big corporations. Wall Street and corporate America don't run the government. The president runs this. Like Teddy was real cocky. He'd go to Africa and shoot elephants, and he had Rockefeller on the run, man. And I remember hearing the jargon as if the government was subordinate to the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, but y'all never tell the story when Rockefeller was ducking subpoenas because the government said, nope, you got a monopoly. We trying to break you up. And now Rockefeller's on the run ducking subpoena work. I thought he was Illuminati. I thought he was the top shotter.
Didn't they serve him in a church or something?
I forget how they served him. You know what I'm saying? But y'all told me Rockefeller was the top shotter and he running from the law. I thought the law don't mess with them because they run the law. You're lying. You see what I'm saying? So and with the black colleges, one of them, Howard University, is named after William O. Howard, William Oliver, aka the Big O. He was a Union war general who fought the Confederates to get Black people free, and he put up his own money so Black people can have the Freedmen's Savings Bank institution to create your own bank once you get out of slavery. So to name Howard University after the white man who took bullets and shot bullets and put his own money up to get Black people a bank, man, salute that. See, this is what I'm saying. If man, you get some of these brothers, man, and you would ask them, were there any good white people in the world historically that helped Black people? Nope, they all evil, brother. It's all about white supremacy. They can never do. They start doing all of that, and it's just a lie. And it's really malicious, to be honest with you. It's really malicious, very malicious. It's very dishonest. You know what I'm saying? to keep you swayed like that, that's dangerous. You know,
and to keep you angry.
yeah,
Which gonna keep your hippocampus shrinking.
Ooh.
And then you quit trying to figure out why you can't come up with no solutions.
Man. So moving on, right? Now watch this. What happened? What did George Washington in 1794 sign into the law?
Let's read it. It says the Slave Trade Act of 1794 prohibited exporting slaves from the United States to any foreign place or country.
Why don't we never hear about George Washington stopping slavery from going out the country? Huh? What's up with that? Right? Like, come on, man. No. And this was in response to the 1793 prior year where the South was mad that slaves was running up north and getting free. And it was like, yo, that's our property. Y'all tripping. Y'all violating our little rules that we got with one another. And so they said, okay, we're going to pass a Fugitive Slave Act law. Congress passed it. Washington had to sign it. But the clapback for that was, yeah, we're going to make it illegal to send these black folks up out of here. Now, if you think in war strategy, and if 100 years from now, there's going to be a civil war and you might need these black folks because if you fight on their behalf, don't you think these black folks like Harriet Tubman will join you, which she did 100 years later, right? Wouldn't you stop the exportation of slavery first? Because you're going to need all the allies you possibly can get in the future.
Yeah, because we about to line this thing up.
See, this is military talk. This is why I be saying, women, y'all dismissed from this conversation, because when I want to talk to these niggas, I'm going to set them straight and set their ass on fire. That's the only cuss word I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to set them niggas on fire with it, okay? All right. So let's move on here. So John Jay was a member of the what?
The Luminaries.
New York Manumission Society. Him and who? Jew and Blue. John Jay and who?
Alexander Hamilton.
Wasn't he the Secretary of State?
Oh boy.
Huh? Manumission Society of New York. They were freeing slaves in New York, Jew. John Jay is your first Supreme Court Chief Justice. Yes. John Jay is the first Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. He was an abolitionist who helped found the New York Manumission Society. Who put John Jay in there? Because the president has to appoint you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
George Washington. But didn't we just see George Washington and John Jay and John Adams on the same document?
Yes.
In 1784?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay. Okay. Now we getting somewhere. Okay. So let's look at something. Let's go to the 2017 eclipse. Remember, I told you that was the first one. 2017 eclipse minus 1789 is exactly 228 years. 228 divided by the 19-year cycle equals exactly 12. So that means 1789 is in alignment with 2017.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
what
was 1789?
The United States Constitution went into effect on March 9th,
1789. June. That was yesterday.
Yeah, well, we right on time.
We right in the pocket. Now, we didn't sit here and say, hey, Jew, since the Constitution was aligned with this, we're going to go in on this day.
No.
If we did, we did. We'll tell you. I'm telling you we didn't.
No.
Okay? It's just the spirit of things. Okay? The Constitution went in effect today. Okay?
Yeah.
So now the Constitution is in alignment with the 2021 eclipse. The 2017 eclipse. Now watch this. Since we're talking about constitutions, let's go on the left-hand side. Article 1, Section 9. The migration or importation of such persons, hence we know they talk about slaves, as any of the states now existing shall think proper to admit, shall not be prohibited by the Congress prior to the year what, Jew?
1808.
Mark that. Okay. Now you will see that on the right-hand side, when they do the breakdown, they saying this is a clause prohibited the federal government for limiting the importation of persons understood at the time to mean primarily enslaved African persons. Okay. And then it also says, I can't see behind that because my slider button is there.
What we talking about? What we looking at?
But where it says allow it until some 20 years.
Hold on.
On the right-hand side.
On the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. It says this clause prohibited the federal government from limiting the importation of persons where the existing state governments saw fit to allow it until some 20 years after the Constitution took effect.
Okay.
It was a compromise between southern states where slavery was pivotal to the economy and states where the abolition of slavery had been accomplished or was contemplated.
Thank you. Now, so in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, they're saying, hey, the United States government shall not infringe on your ability to bring slaves into this country before the year 1808. Correct?
Yes.
That's what they said, right?
Yes.
Let's see if they held true to it, Jew. Okay. So here go, listen, and you can see it's the archives in the government, the slave trade. At the Constitutional Convention in 1787, delegates fiercely debated the issue of slavery. They ultimately agreed that the United States would potentially cease importation of slaves in 1808.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we just read in the Constitution. Okay? So let me see here, 1808. Hold on, we'll get to it. So in 1808, let's look at this. 1789 was the Constitution, plus one cycle, 19 equals 1808, ladies and gentlemen. So even 1808 is connected to the first American eclipse. Now, let's see if it held true, Drew. Oh, I didn't put it in there. Don't tell me I didn't put it in there. But I'm going to tell you this. I thought I did. But if we go research, Thomas Jefferson signed a law that made it illegal for the importation of slavery to take effect January 1st, 1808. That's a fact. I'll do a screen share and show you. But that's a fact. Okay. Thomas Jefferson signed a law that said it's illegal to import slaves into the United States of America from this point. So George Washington got rid of the export. Thomas Jefferson got rid of the import, and Abe is going to be the one that's going to kill it domestically. This is called a triangle offense, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now let's move to Nat Turner. Because Nat Turner said, hey, man, you know, the spirit told me that it's about to be time that we going to get free. And I saw it in an eclipse on February the 12th, 1831.
But no, okay? he said on May 12th, 1828, the spirit appeared to Turner and told him.
That's right.
And then Turner believed that prophecy was fulfilled on February 12th, 1830.
That's right. His prophecy to be fulfilled by a solar eclipse. February the 12th. All right. It was fulfilled on February the 12th. So let's go back and look at the homework here. Notice all the way to the far left. Remember, we did 1774 already. Go up 3 or 4 cycles and we at 1831. Yes?
Yes.
1831 is in the same cycle. That's the same year. It's in the same cycle as 2024 eclipse. The same cycle as the Moors of 1492. So you're telling me cycle was 1774 when they say the black man gonna be free.
Are you telling us
we ain't gonna do nothing with you?
Are you telling us the spirit of Nat is alive?
Oh, the spirit of Nat is alive, and I'm gonna prove it. So 1831, right? So okay. Now he believed this was fulfilled on February the 12th, right? But February the 12th is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, February the 12th is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And When was Nat Turner's revolt on the right, Jew? It started August the what?
21st,
Oh,
1831.
oh, really? So let's rewind that real quick. Let's rewind that. Nat Turner of 1831 actually appears under the April eclipse that's coming in 2024, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when he put in that, when he had his dream, and well, when he saw the confirmation, the signs in the heaven was February the 12th, which is Lincoln's birthday, who would get the slaves free 30-something years later. We ain't even there yet in the timeline, right? Nat Turner actually starts his revolution, his revolt on August the 21st, which is the American eclipse of 2017.
17. That's right.
See? Now, let's look at the year 1861, because this falls in line with the eclipses. And that's why I got the little smiley face there in the red arrow, 1861. I know, historically speaking, 1861 is the start of the American Civil War. April at that.
April 12th.
Mm-hmm.
That 12 keep popping up, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now we got it, and it happened in Charleston. Didn't I tell y'all to bookmark Charleston? Because that's where the split came in 15 with the Masons.
No, but the first shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, what was the connection between the Star of the West?
That was a boat. So there was a merchant boat in Fort Sumter in the port in Charleston named the Star of the West, but it was carrying American United States government artillery and things of that nature for the federal government. South Carolina is pissed that Abraham Lincoln is the president. Why are they mad? Because they watched his debates in 1858 and they saw that Abraham Lincoln did not like slavery, and they knew he was going to put an end to it. Although Abraham Lincoln will give a speech in his inauguration and he'll say shit like, hey man, I don't know what the hoop and hollering is all about, man. The nation is torn. I don't believe I have a right to interfere with the institution of slavery. He said this. He don't believe he has the power to interfere with the institution of slavery. South Carolina ain't trying to hear it. They like, you're lying. Like I said, if you go to the 1858 Lincoln-Douglas debates, Douglas said, hey, Abraham Lincoln, when he in the South, he be saying like the white man is superior. But when he go up north in northern Illinois, he be saying the Declaration of Independence is for black people. So, hey, how you going to reconcile those two things that you said?
That's right.
Douglas was calling him out on this. I showed you the actual scripts of this shit, right? Like Douglas is calling him out and saying, nah, man, you faking, you lying. You switch it up when you go down south trying to sway them and get their vote by talking that white man is superior shit. But when you up north, you be talking about the black man and the white man is just like
our brothers.
And so Douglas started calling the Republican Party black republicanism. That's what they teaching. The Republican Party is teaching black republicanism.
So hence Jay-Z and Nas record, Black Republicans.
Yes. Once again, the spirit will find its way. Okay. All right. And so, here, let me see. All right. So the Civil War starts in 1861. You saw that on the timeline of the eclipse. But dig this, and Jew, don't nobody say this. I never told you this, Jew. I never told you this one. Now dig this. William Henry Seward was appointed Secretary of State by Abraham Lincoln on March 5th, 1861, right? This is what they don't tell you, Jew. What that say? Seward both what?
Gave and sold property to Tubman.
And that's why they got a statue of Seward and Tubman up in like Auburn, New York. we're not told that Abraham Lincoln's handpicked a Secretary of State actually sold and gave property to Harriet Tubman. Now, my homie, the Fifth House, put me up on something that it was a propaganda going out about Harriet Tubman didn't exist.
Oh my God.
I said, even better, because if Harriet Tubman don't exist, and they're going to this extent to tell you that a black woman got free, and now the Secretary of State is giving her land, and Colonel James Montgomery gave her guns, and she fought for the Union, that must mean somebody cares enough about us to concoct a story to put us in the perception of victory. And I bet you that wasn't the black man who wrote that story right there. So I guarantee you, if that is true, a white person said, you know what, let's create this fictional person called Harriet Tubman and go so far as to say the Secretary of State for Abraham Lincoln actually gave her property. Thank you. We needed that. Okay?
This let me tell you something. That's the equivalent to a lot of these schools of thought. They came through and put the battery pack in our back to give us the pride in the 70s and the 60s about, black power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So somebody way back 200 years ago was putting, we're just gonna put it that way. If y'all want to think that these people didn't exist, they was putting, now no, listen to this, no, they was putting battery packs in people's backs who couldn't even read. They couldn't even read. So you couldn't even go to the document to look at what you're looking at to be able to decipher this Harriet Tubman person getting property from this gentleman. So then who were they making the story up for?
It would have to be us.
Who's making the story up for? See, you guys never take this thing to an extended version of your logical processes. You hear these people talk these things. Like I said, they're energetic, they're charismatic, they have a spirit of fight in them, right? And so then you hear it, you get riled up, right? Yeah, they did this stuff. Yeah. And you never ask yourself the next logical question, which would then lead you to ask the next logical question. And so then when Jew or Ampu comes on here and says, well, you couldn't even read at that time. So who were they making this up for then? Who?
The only excuse, the only logical thing would be they knew you couldn't read and you will be able to read in the future. So therefore, we're thinking about your future state. Once again, thank you.
Which means they had a lot of faith because they didn't even know if they was going to win the war.
That's right. That's right. Especially on the eastern side, because the United States is getting their butt behind. I mean, getting tapped, bro. You know what I mean? So let me see where we at here, man. All right. So shout out to William Seward for giving Harriet Tubman property, man. We don't talk about that. Salute. All right. So let's look at something. That 2017 eclipse, 1865 is the end of the Civil War. Okay. End of the Civil War. All right. So 2017 eclipse, the first American eclipse minus 1865, end of the Civil War, it's 152 years. You can divide that evenly. That's 8 Metonic cycles. Okay. Now, when was the 13th Amendment? Because this is where you legally got free. What year did that take effect, Jew?
1865.
1865. I ain't lying. Hold on. I said, listen. That's 18. Oh, no. Okay. So 61 is the start. So yeah. So 65 is under the 2017 eclipse. Okay. So 1865, again, end of the Civil War. And this is where you get the 13th Amendment. Slavery is officially over. Do y'all understand this? I'm telling you that the Nat Turner 2017 eclipse is in the same pattern with, man, this is crazy, bro. The Nat Turner eclipse literally is in the same parallel at the end of the Civil War and the 13th Amendment where you get your freedom, and they're calling this the American eclipse? Man, y'all better stop. Listen, y'all better stop playing with God. That's what I'm gonna say, man. Listen, I'm about to get real spooky on y'all. Y'all better stop playing with God, okay? Because there's clearly a divine, invisible intelligence that's here, all right? Again, they surrendered April 9th, 1865, okay? Man, shout out to them soldiers over there, man. Boy, I love them niggas, dude. I love them, man. Listen. I was talking to somebody. I don't got no tattoos, but boy, if I get me some tattoos, I promise you I'm getting Abraham Lincoln, William Sherman, and Grant over here. I don't care what you tell me, I'm getting them. I don't care. Call me a coon, call me a biscuit eating, buck dancing, whatever you want to call me. I love that white man Union soldier because he was a monster, boy. He gave you Shot Spencers. He gave you rifles to go back down south, aim at your slave master, and shoot him. Ain't no more gangster than that. I'm sorry.
Tell them about the Bible and the rifle.
Oh yeah. So there's a gentleman by the name of New York. So shout out to New York. Henry Ward Beecher. He's a preacher. And his whole thing was, listen, the Bible and the rifle. We're going to Kansas. This is before the Civil War. And we're going to go to Kansas, which Kansas is 1854 up until 1861. And Kansas is really the Civil War before the government got involved. They squabbing so hard in Kansas, the citizens are fighting each other over slavery. So you got one group of people known as the Jayhawkers. They don't want slavery. That's John Brown, because John Brown went down to Kansas, okay? And the people who want slavery was known as the Border Ruffians, okay? So these white boys squabbing so hard, they call it Bleeding Kansas, okay? And so Henry Ward Beecher from New York, he's a preacher, but he's like, listen, I got the Bible in this hand and I got the rifle in the other. He sent on train a crates full of rifles, but on the crates, it said Bibles.
That's right.
To ship them to John Brown in Kansas so they could put in work to stop slavery for expanding in the Western territory, man.
Now that's called the art of war.
Facts. That's why I say the Bible and the flag, leave it alone. Leave it alone, because there's some people that put in work with that Bible and the rifle in their hand. All right? All right. Now, let's get ready for part 2. All right? We're looking at this eclipse, and now we got to let's zoom on in a little bit, okay? See what's going on. Well, the X is Panther, okay? Now watch this. Panther Den. Where's Panther Den? What's to the east, or I'm sorry, the west of Panther Den?
Maconda.
This is in southern Illinois. Yes. Dude. Like, what? Are you serious? You're telling me it's something called Panther's Den, and it's not too far from Maconda, but Black Panther came and they had something called Wakanda.
Which is where the X marks the spot gonna hit on April the 8th.
Yes.
Pay attention.
So April the 8th, when the eclipse crosses over, it hits southern Illinois. Okay?
X marks the spot.
Zoom in. Say it again.
X marks the spot.
X marks the spot. And what's on the Illinois license plate, Jew? The land of what?
Lincoln.
The land of Lincoln. Right? Mm-hmm. And what do they call southern Illinois, Jew?
Let's see. Little Egypt.
Little Egypt. They call it Little Egypt. Okay? Now, there's something here that says Cahokia Mound. It looked like a green step pyramid. Did we not go there, Jew?
Let me see. Oh, at the bottom?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could pull up some pictures. Like, we've been there putting in work. We've been at Southern Illinois in Cairo, named after Cairo, Egypt. That's why they call it Southern Illinois. We've been there at a certain time of the year putting work in. 2013, okay? Now, I like this motto right here, Save America Again, right? Like, hey, Trump, hey, listen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get interesting.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Because now I gotta go bona fide Christian on you for a minute. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. And we say that the author of confusion is the devil.
AKA ignorance.
And listen, don't let this confuse you right here. There is an invisible force that clearly hops inside of men and women, and it gets played out. But don't fall for the trick, because Trump is not Confederate. Listen, do what you will, because the priesthood, and we gonna be all right. Trust me. Our flock, our sheep, us together, all of us, our membership, we gonna be Gucci.
What Kendrick say? We gonna be all right.
We're gonna be all right. But I'm telling you, go vote for Trump. I said it. Yep. Because I'm gonna tell you why. It's all in the spirit and it's easy. And I ain't gonna even go get the Trump facts, but go vote for him. But listen, the Civil War amendments are known as the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. 13th outlawed slavery, 14th made you a citizen, 15th said you can vote. That's the order. These are known as the Civil War amendments. But what did they try to do to Trump?
Oh, they tried to disqualify him.
They tried to disqualify Trump using an amendment that was for you. The 14th Amendment was specifically for Black folks to get the right to vote. But they say, hey, there's a clause in that amendment that we're going to try to get rid of Trump. Really? Okay, let's look at that. No person shall be senator or representative in Congress or elected president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken oath as a member of Congress, previously taken oath, keyword, as a member of Congress or as an office of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion. Whoa. This is around 1868. These are known again as the Civil War Amendments. Who was in insurrection or rebellion at the time, Minister Jew?
The Confederates.
The Confederates. That clause actually banned Confederates. Now, if you're studying this from a law angle, you know what that means? Any state house in America, and it will only be in the South, if they're flying a Confederate flag and have a Confederate flag anywhere on government property where you take an oath to uphold the Constitution on the local level, on the state level, you are disqualified for holding service.
Yes.
That is the law that we use to bust the Confederates' ass. Okay? Any remnants of it. Because you shouldn't even have that flag up. But that's the law that you use. So the spirit is using Trump as an example to show you to play. It's that simple. That's all it is. The spirit is using that as, okay, y'all got to wake up. Y'all got to get this. This will be the playbook to finally eradicate that on a physical legislative angle. But I tell you, we don't even have to go that far because we can do it from a spiritual angle. Yeah. That's the part where you got to get into membership at, right there, okay? But I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you. I'm gonna show you how to get busy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. See. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, yeah, make it a disclaimer.
Let me give a disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about Minister Jew, and Noble Ann Poole. I promise you this.
They're in third person. Those
Listen,
guys.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. When you get them guys riled up, and they start to take on the state of the two witnesses, and they go on to that particular state, and it's time to defend the honor of the people in the name of truth and in the name of light, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be because see, listen, we believe in the scriptures so much. The scripture says, go to the mountain and pray. We go to the mountain and pray. Okay? Now, hold on. I'm going to show you. So on this flyer, this is 15 maybe. Yeah, we line these boys up, and you see the KKK on there. Yeah, Stone Mountain 7-Eleven stump off. 7-Eleven be there, be square. That was a Saturday. Book release and signing Minister Jew and Noble Ann Poole. On the 12th, on that Sunday, we're going to go to Stone Mountain and do a meditation, and we're going to stump off. Yeah, we're going to stump off. I'm going to show you how we get real jiggy with this, all right? So you got to know that we're promoting this months in advance. Okay, meet us in Atlanta. Meet us at Atlanta. Meet us in Atlanta, right? And lo and behold, wait a minute, back it up. The reason why I got the KKK on there is because we know the history of Stone Mountain, because the second clan organized themselves on Stone Mountain. Okay, that's a fact. So that's why we put the Ku Klux Klan on there, and we about to go have spiritual war. Okay, because if you got ancestors, then they got ancestors too. Okay, so now when we get in town on the 10th of July, what happened? Confederate flag at Stone Mountain Park stolen. The flag is missing when we arrived in town to put the work in. That's right, Mike P. Mike P said, Pac shot what on that mountain? That's right. So it was Stone Mountain, Georgia. Pac pull out his gun, start busting, and they dropped the case. They didn't even try the case. They dropped the case. Shooting at 2 white cops off duty in Georgia, the third state to go Confederate. But anyway, the flag is gone. And so then you saw our flyer. It said, hey, guys, we're going to be here 7-11, 7-12. Then what happens 2 days later? What did the news report on CNN? NAACP gets an idea. Banish the Confederate symbols from Stone Mountain in Georgia. Yeah, I know. But watch this. This 2015. Y'all see the timestamp? Now watch this. We're talking about, again, remember, this is the American eclipses, right? Now watch this. 2013. Sunday, April the 7th. Wait a minute, Jew. We did a radio show called We've Been on the Mountaintop in 2013, April the 7th. But when is the eclipse, Jew?
April 8th.
April the 8th. Hold on. The eclipse is in 2024. What year is this, Jew?
2013.
How many years in the future will we in this pocket, Jew?
Jesus Christ. What?
Huh?
9 years? 11 years, rather?
How many?
11 years.
Your email is Jew what?
11.
Huh? We 11 years in the future dealing with white supremacy on a spiritual level.
Can I show them something?
Yes.
Oh, look how in tune we are.
Oh, I didn't mean to show that.
No, it's okay.
Hold on.
It's okay. No. Show it.
Hold on. Let me see where you
this
at.
picture right here?
That's right.
This was us on Stone Mountain when I did the book release back in 21.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to show y'all something. Who that look like, Noble?
Mm-hmm. Harriet.
Let me see the date. The date say July 24th, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
This is a inbox with one of the members. We were having this conversation. This is the activation that we did on top of that mountain was centered around Miss Tubman, right? Y'all remember the incident that happened down in Montgomery, Selma, last year? What was the meme that went viral? Huh? This was the meme that went viral because y'all saw the brother go across that guy's head with that folding chair, right? And then it dawned on me, Noble. This thing boomerang right back, which was supposed to be one of the first ports where quote unquote slaves were brought into the country. Go ahead, man. I couldn't.
Man, of course. No, man. Shit. Listen, man. Let me see. Listen. When we got to Stone Mountain in 2013, at the bottom, that's what it looked like. In the bottom. We may have some people here that was here. Hey, man, don't get my man started because you see somebody kneeling down with a lion mask on his head, right? Like, listen, it is a fact that I looked at Jew. We looked at the people. We said, y'all get in 2 rows. Jew, come on. We went to this side, this side, this side, this side. We said something, and then I dipped because I had something to do. And lo and behold, you see the after effect. Clouds be gone. Now, they tell you in the spirit, clouds represent thoughts, cloudy thoughts. My mind was just cloudy. Okay? So we went up there with the intention on banishing the energy anyway. Well, I guess God said you're going to have to prove it. Okay, no problem. We believe. Be gone. Okay? Gone. Now, that same day, you see it, April the 7th. Now, hold on. Look at the flyer. Look at the flyer. It says Sunday, April the 7th, 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay? After we got off the radio, where it says at the epicenter, what time is that at the epicenter? You just got to do 15 minus 12. 3:21 p.m. You see where it says
okay,
epicenter?
yeah, I see it. I see it.
So at 3:21 p.m. at the epicenter, an earthquake went off in Lincolnton, Georgia.
Yes.
You see the date, it say April the 7th. We was just on the radio prior at 11 in the morning. Facts. That's when we had Blog Talk Radio. We was popping, right?
It was some of the best times of our lives.
Here go a testimonial for y'all in the chat who may not know us. Nikki Love 621. They was on the beach. She was on. I went there. Her and Jew and the group of people was on the beach, and it was cloudy. And Jew did it again and made the clouds disappear. That's why she's testifying in the chat. Same thing in Daytona. Man, we ain't new to this. But they say we true to this, man. All right. So now, hold on. What they be saying? Hey, Jew. Peace, God. What's today's mathematics? hey, God. Today's mathematics is knowledge cipher. Oh boy, let's get into this knowledge cipher.
Oh boy.
Question number 8, Jew. What makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? This is what the Nation of Islam be saying, right? All right. I'm gonna have to pull it up because it's a little too small on mine. So let me go on mine.
I can see it. See it.
Okay. So answer. The Earth is approximately covered underwater. The sun and moon have an attracting power on our planet, while our planet making a terrific speed of 1,037 1/3 miles on its way around the sun. The sun draws this water up into the Earth's rotation, which is called gravitation, in a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect. But as this mist ascends higher and increasing with other mists of water in different currents of the atmosphere, until when she, she becomes heavier than gravitation. Then she distills back to the earth in the form of drops of water or drops of ice, which depends on how heavy the mist was and the current of the air it was in. There are some layers or currents of air real cold and warm, and some very swift and changeable. So when the water strikes one of these cold currents, it becomes solid ice in small round drops in the form or in a light fluffy form, which is called snow. But this water is not even drawn above 6 miles from the Earth's surface by the sun and the moon. We're talking about the eclipse, sun and moon. Okay. The reason it rains back on our planet is because it cannot get out of the Earth's sphere. With its high speed of rotating around the sun makes it impossible. Earthquakes are caused by the Son of Man by experimenting on high explosion. In fact, that all the above is caused by Son of Man.
But can we just stop? So all that stuff that he read in between, it was a bunch of buff to get you to the very last sentence.
That's right.
To let you know it is you.
There's you. The Nation of Islam has this, but the brothers don't go into this. They don't go into it.
No, they just read it. They just read it verbatim.
They don't go into it.
And it becomes a lot of water and no wine.
The Son of Man creates all these things. Okay. Prove it, because we can and have. So what happened? What happened a couple weeks later after we left and got off that radio show? Petitions want Stone Mountain Confederates carving removed. Y'all see it in 2013, and I showed you when we did it in 2015 too. Okay? All right? So listen, that's my last slide. All right? Literally, like, we don't be worrying about nothing. And I can show you some, I can really show you some stuff.
Don't do
show
it,
you why we ain't worried about nothing.
Don't do it.
And you don't need to be worried about nothing. Only thing you do, because we ain't gonna be able to say everybody, go vote for Trump. All right, I'm saying that. I don't care. I'm standing on that. All right. Now do what you will, but I'm gonna tell you something. In order to get me activated on that high priest level, when we go to the mountains, man, it's gonna have to be a whole lot of ugly stuff that's gonna happen. And I don't think it's gonna get that ugly in my lifetime. But listen, I don't even want it to get that ugly. But I'm telling you now, the stuff that I am seeing, I don't like it. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, if this can be prevented in the realm of physicality, do your part in the realm of physicality. And those of us that's more of the spiritual aptitude, oh yeah, we can show and prove there's something to do. And that instruction will come from Minister Jew on what that will be. But again, this ain't no stuff that we put out there in the public. I just wanted to show you the glory of the invisible, all living God. All right.
Exactly. See, I had to watch this tonight to get a baseline for what direction we should go in, if we go in any direction. Right? But shout out to all the members, man. We put something together, y'all will be the first ones to know. In fact, y'all are gonna be the only ones to know.
Yeah.
Because man, it just got to the point where being responsible, man, is just at the forefront for Minister Jew right now. And I refuse to do what we did back in 2013, 14.
Oh yeah.
because see, at that time we were immature. You know what I'm saying? And just reckless with implementing the data. But now you get more seasoned, you realize. See, let me say something too. This is the Leviticus priesthood.
Yeah.
This ain't the stuff you seeing in your churches. No. This the Leviticus type priesthood. It's much different. And some things are only made for those wise enough to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're giving dangerous tools away to
Mm-hmm.
babies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
like to keep it. We're going to improve our lifestyles.
That's right.
We're going to use it to get healing,
That's right.
promotions on jobs,
That's right.
checks in the mail, new
That's
cars,
right.
new house, mending family relationship trauma.
That's right.
We gonna keep it right there in that pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, look, I'll show you. Look.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Once you get into Patreon and get the app, go to our community. It's a private chat. You see all kind of chats we have for day traders, Lucky Lotto group, wake up check-in, my favorite, Astro Q&A, show and share your business, real estate questions that we have that or you may have as well, prayer, health, and healing, and our daily wins and accomplishments. Like we go to the Lotto group, we winning. I got so many videos since we started doing this, using the power of our minds, going through the lottery group, and it's nothing but winners after winners after winners. All right. And we doing something really big that I'm gonna keep on the hush so the members know what it is. All right. So you go to our private chat right here, go to our good morning chat, wake up and check in. Crazy old Sharita. People just sending good vibes in the morning. It's all about positivity. And most importantly, my thing is we are doing this together. That's my tagline, creating prosperity together. Love to see you. Peace.
All right. And so listen, y'all, when you come over to the Patreon, if you want to come over and listen, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's only $15 too. And when you get over here, listen, a plethora of stuff is sitting there. Money visualizations. This night with the Saints about to start popping. We had it last night. That's about to be crazy. All right. You want to learn astro science and stuff for yourself to improve yourself, right? That stuff is here. Member videos, member audios, real estate stuff, even networking. Like if you got a business, you got something you doing, like, hey, we do this together. Drop your stuff in here. We got my man TKB, they in there doing the Wall Street thing. We loaded, man. Credit repair stuff is coming. Message to the black man, that was today. Because I really be talking to black men when I get on this vibe right here. I'm just saying because I'm from the school of war, right? And women, you get out the way when it's time when it's war. That's just me. You know what I mean? So I really be talking to black men. But when you click here and you look at these testimonials and whatnot, listen, man, we can go. We can go because these testimonials, you will see this brother right here. What do you say? I've been fighting this for 4 years and the check finally came. You approve, bro. We got a technique called you approve. I ain't gonna say what it is. Just know you approve. Brother, get a check. Shout out to Roderick who got a check. 20,000 manifested. Okay, 20,000. All right, I can keep on going. 600 right there. Shout out to Tiffany. Poor little Tiffany. Tiffany's like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, and I don't know. As soon as she started doing that, a check came. I don't know if I'm doing it right. This ain't working. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jonas, man. She had a little issue. She was in between jobs, gave her a technique to do. Bam. Next thing you know, her rent's paid in full. Testimonial right there. All right. I can keep on going with people that's winning lottery, all kind of stuff, man. I'm telling you, checks all of a sudden popping in. That's the fifth house. She in the chat right now. Like, we're winning. All right. So when Minister Jew say we doing some things a little bit more differently to help people progress, that's what it's about. And again, my Patreon link is right there. It's only $15 a month. And listen, I'm telling you, this ain't no pity party. And most importantly, I just ask of two things. And the two things I ask of is A, that you check in the morning and just say hello, good morning. If you can't do that and your stink ass can't do that, don't come over here. No, I'm serious about it. Don't come over. If you can't say good morning and just wave, don't come over here. Okay. All right. And the only thing I ask is for you to know that your mind is the power and the creative source of God is within you. And now we can move on to loftier things of creating prosperity for ourselves collectively. because we get together on Mondays and Wednesdays for a success call where we're like, all right, what you do? Who you study for success? All right, what action steps did you take? All right, that's taking form. Hey, hook up with this person. Let's do X, Y, Z. We rally. We're a community. It's more like a club. All right. Okay. So keep that in mind, man. If you can't say good morning, you don't want to be successful and all that, don't come over here.
That's what it is, y'all. Join the Patreon, join the Quantum Imaging membership. We getting it in, man. Things are happening for people every day. I didn't load nothing up tonight, man. I'm just here riding shotgun with Noble, but man, it's testimonials coming through that thing every day, every week.
Day,
we got a big one from Rob Butler Bay, like 72,000 in a matter of 30 days.
Man, you explain the importance when you was talking about the vehicle.
Oh, so you need a in order for this wave to collapse, where you can have a consistent flow of prosperity reigning in, right? You need a physical vessel in order for it to filter through, right? So we see this all the time. The checks in the mail to come, we'll hit the lottery. Those type of things are going to happen because you're practicing. It's going to show you that the field is responding to your petition, right? But if you're going to have a consistent flow where it's not predicated on you having to go to the mailbox or you having to go to the grocery store to play the lottery, it's not contingent upon those things, then you're going to have some type of entity where you're active in it to allow it to have a steady stream to flow through, where that vine can be pruned and grow and spread and expand. I don't care what it is, selling jewelry, selling hair products, whatever it is, right? Also, too, if you work in these jobs, right? Envisioning yourself consistently moving up in your craft, in your field. We got Matt Blake, who shared a testimony maybe a year or so ago where he got bumped up to 100K position. My man Ford, same thing happened with him. First time he got bumped into 100,000 position. Well, these things happen. You know what I mean? And so you just got to continually condition your mind, because see, what happens is you start to have these ideas that, and you be trying to sit back and think, man, why hadn't I thought about that before? Why? Because you never uploaded it into your psychology as even a possibility. So the moment you start to do that, right, you literally start to make new connections in your brain, and it's like a map starts to emerge in the mind. Okay, go this way. No, look this way. No, make sure you're here at this time. Right? Like I was just on the phone earlier with one of the members, and she was talking about how her healing process was going and how much better she was doing. And she was saying how her groceries were not coming. She was ordering the groceries to the house and they weren't coming. And so she's like, man, I gotta get outside. I'm gonna have to go get these groceries myself and go get out and, be active. So she said when she went out to do that, she said it was a woman in the store who looked just like another woman from another organization that she was a part of. And she said her and this woman started talking because she thought she was another person, and they started to have this engagement. And she said this woman just stopped everything she was doing and just prayed over her fervently with passion. And she says ever since that moment, she noticed how her condition started to change. And she says, oh, that's why the groceries didn't come. Because I had to go meet that woman. See, so this is what I mean by it starts to create a roadmap where what you think is not working in your favor is actually working in your benefit to get to pass to make sure you pass the baton. But you're so worried about what you're seeing with your physical eyes, it's not lining up that you get worried. And I just was having this conversation earlier. I said, all of those people, you don't see it manifesting in your direct experience right away. Let me tell you who you are. You're playing the role of Elijah and Ahab. See, Elijah said, man, it's a thunderstorm and a rain cloud coming. He spoke it first. Wasn't no signs of no rain clouds nowhere. Nowhere. Right? So that's you. You're envisioning, you're praying, you're reciting, you're doing all these things. You're seeing it already as though it's happened. So you Elijah when you're in that particular process. But then you turn into Ahab. Because Ahab, he told Ahab, go out there and look tell me when the rain cloud appears. Ahab came back the first time. He said, man, I don't see a rain cloud. Elijah told him, go back again. So he went back a second time, no rain cloud. Went back a third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. But the seventh time, he said, I see a small cloud in the shape of a hand. And then Elijah got on the spirit phone, and said, call the troops up, let them know if they don't get the hell up out of there, it's going to be a problem because this storm coming. So what were they trying to exemplify in that story, right? Is that sometimes you don't see it right away. You got to circle the mount, which really what they tell you is you got to be consistent in your practice. See what I'm saying? Because signs follow, they don't precede. The signs start to pop up as you begin to practice. Then everybody gets so excited about, oh, look at that synchronicity. You see?
Very interesting.
This is the mysteries that we get into in these networks, in these memberships, man.
Right.
And show people how to apply it sensibly. Listen, over in my membership, one-on-one coaching. I just got off the phone with like 4 or 5 people today, emailing people personal PDFs. We in the trenches with the people, man.
With you.
Because we want to see the people succeed. Because I'm going to tell you, I get more excited. I be calling them like, no. You guess what? I be excited for these people. I'm never surprised anymore because I done seen a whole lot of stuff. But I be happy for them because they've experienced it for themselves. You know, but man, look, man, join the membership, man. The link should be in the description box below. If they not, we make sure they there. But man, join the Patreon. It's well worth it. Join the membership. Join both.
Yeah, you just got to listen, man. Let me say this. You know, y'all just carve out $100 a month, right? You know, and make it happen. And I don't want to be arrogant, and I'm not. I just truly know this from the experience that we have. Like, it's so many testimonials. Like, man, it's so many over the years of work. Like, it's a lot, right? And I'm gonna say this, right? Whatever you're doing to pursue more income for yourself, and if you tie that into the principles with me and Jew, and you tune everything else out, like don't spend leisure time jumping around in different information, in a sense, right? You will progress so far on the path. Like, if you literally can just say, listen, I'm rolling with this, and I'm tuning everything out and focusing on my vehicle to get it, you know, to make progress in my life. And I got Jew and Pooh, like, and you know, I don't sit up there and watch YouTube and all these different videos. You are going to make a tremendous amount of progress. And like Jew said, speaking of the synchronicity, like, we got something here called the Money Magic Synchronicity Journal. Daily techniques to manifest. See, I challenge you on the realm of, I ain't gonna show you mine, but I give you a little idea. Like, you gotta fill in the mark. And if there's a white spot, like you can see a blank white spot, all them white bubbles, oh, I ain't doing something. What is that I'm not doing? And listen, you're not gonna do everything, but I tell you what, you're gonna see some black ones that's filled all the way up that gets hit every single day. because I'm not saying this just because, oh, it's cool to say. No. I walk this. So it's the reason why, I swear I'm not trying to be arrogant, but it's the reason why I can ask my landlord of my office space, who came to me and said he wanted to give me 100,000, and then I say, hey, you got the 100? I said, actually, let's do 125. And then I tell the group, hey, I'm gonna go get this 100,000 a day. But then I come back and report to the group, I actually got 125, y'all. I upped it and got a $25,000 extra from me, right? So it's a reason why, because we are embedded in these principles, right? Like there's a certain time that you pray, like, and really do his thing every single day, and every single day it's the same result over and over and over and over again, because we're doing this work. All right. So, all right, that's all I'm gonna say, man. That's it. Oh, Jew, I wanted you to tell them about that state of Saul, man. Please tell me about the state of Saul. Tell me about the state of Saul. No, because see, on the American Eclipse, in this whole black and white thing, I want you to know that this state exists, man. So tell me about that state, man.
So Saul, right, was the king, right? And Saul had this thing where he thought everybody was out to get him. In other words, he had a very conspiratorial brain. He thought everything was working against him. They're trying to get me. They're trying to bamboozle me. They're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Somebody is really trying to set me up. Oh, no, really, it's trying to do this. No, all of that. That's the state of Saul. Let me tell you how crazy Saul became, allowing his mind to keep moving down that trajectory. They found Saul sitting under a tree with his weapon against his own guards and troops that was there to help and defend him.
That's crazy.
This is how ludicrous he became. Don't turn into Saul. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you will live your whole life fighting an invisible boogeyman. And then you look around and you be 40, 50 years old, looking back on your life the last 10 or 20 years, while other people been living their best life. And you've been worrying about some stuff that can't impact your life on no level.
You have been and bought you a tent.
Yes.
Thinking the world is coming to an end.
Thinking the world is coming to an end. No, I had walkie-talkies, fam.
Hey, my nigga had walkie-talkies. And solar cooking pots.
This and solar cooking pot. This is why. See, y'all think when I talk like this, I'm talking from experience.
Tell them, dude. Tell them what you had, man.
I had a tent that sleeps 7. I had yellow and black walkie-talkies. I had solar cooking pots where I was going to be outside just in case. And the sun was going to cook my eggs.
That is wild, man.
Scrambled eggs on the pavement.
That's wild.
Do you hear me? Oh, and not to forget, I had a Crown Royal bag of silver bullion.
Oh, yeah, you had the stripper bag. The man, I got my eyes watering.
So what I'm saying is, now this was over 17 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
17 years ago. They was some of the most esteemed teachers was telling me this was going to happen.
Yes.
So now watch this. Imagine if I would have stayed down that trajectory for 17 more years, for that interval of time. Meanwhile, I got my family's flourishing, everybody's healthy, doing well. Got a house, 3 cars.
3 cars.
You know what I'm saying?
The blossoming, banging ass ministry.
Ministry is off the charts.
Right?
The energy is reciprocal. People are gaining from the wisdom. Listen, man. I'm not gonna share that because you never know who's listening, but listen, it's people in my membership 74, 81 years old.
Yes.
That tell me, Jew, where were you at 40 years ago?
What you telling them, Jew?
Sorry, I wasn't born yet.
Wasn't born yet. I said, man.
So all I'm saying is, I get it. I see the people. Ain't nothing wrong with preparing. That's not the point.
They said you would be crack. You wouldn't be jackpot Jew. You'd be crackpot Jew.
Yeah. That ain't the point.
That is wild.
The point is the information that I had on repeat that wasn't propelling me to be my best self. It was preparing me to be in a crippled state.
Yes. Yes.
In a state of lack.
Yes.
In a state of worry, the state of depression.
Man, that's crazy to me because I say it all the time with that story. Jews saw himself in others because he just didn't get a tent for himself. He saw himself in others in the future as being homeless and living outdoors. And it's not funny, but it's funny to me because I'm like, well, damn, in the case like that, I'm just gonna squat. I ain't sleeping outside. I'm just gonna be in somebody's house that ain't no rent getting collected, ain't no mortgage being collected if it comes down to that on a global scale. But that level of fear, in a sense, will have you thinking you're going to be homeless in the future.
Yes.
And that's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
That's dangerous, man. That's
dangerous. So I don't want no. Listen. I tell you, I rebuke that spirit.
Yes.
That's what they say. I rebuke.
Yeah.
That spirit, man. No, thank you. I'm like Bobby Hemmett. Give me Walmart.
Give me Walmart, man. Give me Walmart. Now I'm a nature dude, but I ain't gonna be because I'm forced. No. Man. But man, that was a good build, man. Thanks for being. I love that story because I'm telling you, man, that's a long way from coming from that to where he is. You know what I mean? And that's all we saying is, and we always said the core of our message is. See, a lot of us start on the same path. Like it's the Illuminati, it's the Bilderbergers, it's these groups of people, right? And what if you don't have to start there? What if you start here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it'd be so much better? And I tell Drew all the time, man, like, if they would have said for every time they said white supremacy, if they would have just said something like, yo, man, George Washington wrote that law and they squashed that. At the founding of the United States of America, before they even became that, they told King George, like, hey, nigga, we ain't gonna have nothing to do with slavery come next month and a half come December. We ain't rocking with that, and we ain't gonna do any business with anybody that is engaged in it. We got the black people's back. Because that's what was said. You know what that would have did to the morale of the man?
Listen, man. We've been handpicked and chosen to do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. We don't care.
The Bible and the flag.
We don't. We authentically don't care what these knuckleheads got to say. Because see, when it come down to it, if you want to get scholarly, we could do that all day. And this is why when I'm talking, I be showing people receipts. Here go the case study. Now go fight science. You can't call this pseudo. You're gonna have to go fight some science. So we don't care. We're not associated with any body politics. Well, we have to curve our dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
We're radical enough to be able to say these things because we don't care if you say coon.
Biscuit eating coon.
Biscuit eating coon.
I was called a biscuit eating coon.
We laugh at that when we hear that.
Oh, that made my day. He called me a biscuit.
We laugh at that. Somebody once said in the comment section, the minister's crazy.
Crazy. Man, these space cadets ain't about the revolution.
Yeah.
They said that years ago. Me and Jew in the chat. Man, these space cadets ain't about revolution of the people.
Exactly. So it doesn't. And then, and then it gets real crazy. Then they were saying, we're telling them, they say, Jew, are you in the boule?
Yes. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Listen, man. So we ain't worried about it. Because see, they gonna see really what we be doing. We setting the record straight outside of the emotionalism that come attached with the narratives and the charisma and the Okay, but now you got to come deal with you got to deal with these facts that's on paper. What George Washington signed? What?
That's right.
Abraham Lincoln said what?
That's right.
Who gave Harriet Tubman what?
That's right.
Beecher sent what?
That's right.
So see, we have a problem where where we think it's all of us against all of them.
Right.
But in your very own community, it ain't even all of us with us.
That's right.
In your own community.
Say that again.
Listen, man. Listen, the people in your community is robbing, stealing, murdering, raping, da. You ain't feeling them guys. But they look just like you. But it ain't all in together now. It ain't all in together now.
Yeah.
And then it got so bad, we want to give so many, so many passes. It's all the time. Anytime it's a black person doing, we want to always say, well, it's the system, brother. And I tell them, man, I grew up on the west side of Chicago, bro. Austin community. No, when you came up here to visit me and my granny before, you saw what it looked like out there.
Know what it hit for all day.
You know what it hit for out there. On the avenue, Chicago Avenue. West side. Run the stats. Jew ain't succumb to it. The white man system ain't get me. My father wasn't in the home. Why? I guess they missed the memo. Matter of fact, my homies, I got homies doing well, and we all grew up in the same community together. In fact, one of my homies been to prison a couple times, and he rich in spite of it. About to go cop a drop top Bentley. So I guess they didn't get the memo. See, when people hold people accountable, man, it nobody wanna stand and look in that mirror, man.
Facts, man. We doing that. Mother Phoenix Vision. That's me. I shot you the email. Hit me back. We got to jump on a call and just iron out some things. It was just that's me on the email. You know what I'm saying? And along with the team member and just making some things happen. And it's a gap in some communication that got to get bridged and whatnot. So hit me up, but yeah, man, that's what it is, man. That's what it is, man. So I appreciate y'all and whatnot, man. Get on up out of here. Wrap it on up, bro. What we got going on? Anything going on?
Man, we ain't got too much going on, man. And we got a couple things on the itinerary for the summertime, but they haven't been carved all the way out.
Yeah.
So we still working on that.
Mhm.
You know, outside of that, man, membership calls, check the schedule, check the calendar.
Yeah.
The dates are on there.
Yeah.
You know, check those out for the people that's in the membership.
Yeah.
Some people say the links they had no access, but the reason that happens is because if you sign in after the presentation is over, that original link that went out, it doesn't work anymore. So you have to wait on the download of the recording
Right.
the next day to be able to get in and see the playback. So for the
Right.
people that had that problem, that's what that is. So if you come in late, let's just say we start at 12 noon and it's over at 1 o'clock. If you come in at 1:30, that same link that I sent out at 12, it's not going to work anymore. So if you had that problem, that's what it is. But outside of that, that's pretty much it, man.
Man, that's what it is, man. Hit me up. The Patreon info is right there. Yeah, I mean, we locked and loaded, man. I will show y'all the schedule, but I got some money bags on the schedule, and I'm already doing it for $15, so y'all ain't about to get me. So, I can't show you the schedule, but we locked and loaded over here, man, having a ball. And again, if you can't say good morning in the morning in the chat, please don't come over here, because that's the only thing. I'm mandating that, bro. Say good morning. Say what's up. Throw the peace finger up. A sun sign, a flower. I don't care if you do this in the morning. You know what I mean? I appreciate this. Did nothing. Give me the middle finger. You know what I'm saying? But we just creating a collective vibe, man. That's what it's about for us over there and whatnot. And just hit us up, man.
All right, man. That's what it is.
All right, bro. That's what's up.
Peace.
Yeah.